Okay, let me record and let me share my screen. So what is meant by authentication and what is meant by authorization?
Having access on some resources is called authorization.
Okay.
How can enter into the server is called authentication.
Okay, very good.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, this is Srinath, sir. Please go ahead with the recording.
Yeah, you both can record.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so in the last class we have discussed what is meant by authentication and what is meant by authorization. Okay, authorization is nothing but having access on resources is called authorization. How you are accessing the resources is called authentication. Okay, so how many types of authentications are there in SQL Server?
Two types, sir.
Two types of authentication. Okay, so one is Windows authentication and the second one is SQL authentication or
SQL, sir.
mixed mode authentication. Okay, so what is the difference between these two, Windows and mixed mode authentication?
So for Windows authentication, no need to enter the username and password.
Okay,
For SQL Server authentication, we need username and password.
okay. So for Windows authentication, why we no need to enter the username and password?
Because it is an administrator's account, sir.
Okay,
It is a SQL account.
okay. Any other answer for that?
Already registered in Windows.
Very good. Okay, so already Windows authentication means once we entered into the Windows machine, already we will enter into the Windows machine by using secure credentials, right? Now only while doing RDP, I gave administrator username, administrator password. Means in the OS level, already I am a successful verified user, right? Already it was verified that I am a successful verified user, and that's why it is allowing me to log into the Windows machine. SQL Server authentication doesn't have a separate algorithm for the security. SQL Server also will depends on Windows operating system algorithm only for security. As you are a successful verified member in the OS level, SQL Server believes OS authentication more than SQL authentication, and your login is already created in the SQL Server. So that's why it is not asking any password. If you choose Windows authentication, it don't ask the password, but internally it will check which user is logging to while logging to the SQL Server. You can see one user is already grayed out, so it will check whether that user is there in the SQL Server or not. If it is there, then it is going to allow us to connect to the SQL Server, right? So Windows authentication, why it is not asking any username and password? Why? Because during logging into the machine, you have already gave username and password, and your operating system already verified you gave proper username and password, and your operating system allows you to the Windows machine. Once you are a successful user in the Windows level, as SQL Server believes Windows authentication and your login is already created in the SQL Server, so with which login you have entered into the Windows machine, and it will check whether that login is there or not while connecting to the database or server. in the management studio, if login is existed in the logins list, automatically you can enter into the SQL server. SQL authentication, apart from this Windows authentication, again you are going to be created with another username and password. Okay, so you have to choose SQL authentication, especially developers, users are going to use SQL authentication. DBS are going to use Windows authentication. So these developers, okay, for them, we are going to first create a login for them. Once we created login and we are going to share the credentials with them, then only a user can connect to the SQL server. Till then, a user or developer cannot connect. Why? Because if there is no login for them, how can I connect? If there is no Gmail account for me, how can I log into the Gmail account? If there is no bank account, net banking, how can I log into the net banking? So if there is no login in the SQL Server logins list, no one can connect, either Windows login or SQL login. No one can connect to the SQL Server. If we have account, then only you can access Gmail. If you have account, then only you can access net banking. In the same way, if your account is created in the SQL Server, then only you can connect to the SQL Server databases. Clear, guys? Any issues, any doubts? Yes, Saira. Okay, just a minute. Right, okay. Fine, just a minute, guys. Right, okay. So let's discuss about the, okay, so you can see my screen, right? Fine, okay. So in the last class, we discussed about the difference between Windows authentication and SQL authentication. Right, so today we'll discuss about the differences between users and logins. Okay, what are the differences are there between a user and a login? Who is user? Who is login? Okay, so we'll discuss these things now. Okay, fine. So we have already discussed, if your account is already created or if your login is added in the SQL server, then only any login can connect to the SQL server, right? Either any login means either a Windows login or a SQL login. Okay, SQL login. Let me go with the user. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, so this is SQL login. Right, so you can see now this is Windows login and this is SQL login. This person can connect to this SQL server if this login is already existed in the SQL server, right? This person is a SQL login. SQL login can directly open SSMS in his machine. No need to log into the Windows machine directly. Okay, he can directly, SSMS is a client, right? Users, developers, Okay, like this, they are going to, okay, they are going to connect like this only. Okay, what they are going to do? Simply Windows team will install Management Studio in their work laptop. They will open Management Studio. They will give the server name. This server name they will give in that. I'm sorry. In this server name they will give in this Management Studio, and they can directly connect from their laptop to the SQL Server. But what is the condition? He or she should be created as a login in the SQL Server. Whereas Windows login like DBS will open MSTSC here. They will directly connect to the server remotely. Then they will open SSMS here, and then they will connect a SQL Server. But again, the condition is that login should be created in the SQL Server. Okay, so this is the difference between a SQL login and Windows login. Windows login will directly enter into the Windows machine, whereas SQL logins can directly connect to the instance from their laptop. Okay, fine, right? So what is meant by a login? What is meant by a user? Right, let me go with another machine. Imagine this is my Windows machine. Okay. Right, this is my Windows machine. What is the IP address of this machine? Of my machine 106, right? 192.168.0.106. Okay, so this is my machine, and let me go with a SQL Server. Right, okay, let me go with this one. This is my SQL Server. Okay, so this is my SQL Server in the Windows machine. Fine. So as I told you, if any Windows login has to be, okay, let me go with the database. Is this enough? Right. Okay. So this is my Windows machine, and this is my SQL Server, and in SQL Server I have a database. Right. What is user? What is login? Let's discuss. Okay. So, right. I'll explain. Okay. Don't worry. I'll explain everything. Nothing to worry. Right. Okay. Fine. So, this is a Windows user, right? What is the prerequisite if I create a Windows login? What is the prerequisite? Can anyone tell me what is the prerequisite? What should be there if I want to create a Windows login? In the SQL Server, if I want to create a Windows login, what should be there? What is the prerequisite, main prerequisite?
Should have the username and password.
Very good. Okay, so where we should have that username?
Windows level.
In the Windows level. Very good, very good. In the Windows level, I should have Windows user, right? Simple example is administrator. Administrator is already a member of this Windows machine. As administrator is already there in the Windows machine, so for administrator, automatically when we while installing SQL Server, when we click on create current add current user option in the authentication screen, automatically a login will be added for that Windows user, right? A login will be added for that Windows user. So as login is created in the Windows machine, then only that particular person who installed the SQL Server, then only he can connect to the SQL Server, right? So what is the prerequisite for a Windows user? A Windows user should be existed in the Windows level. First of all, I can create two types of logins, right? One is Windows login, second one is SQL login. If we'll discuss first Windows login, then we'll discuss about the SQL login. So if you want to create a Windows login, what is the prerequisite? A Windows user should be there in the Windows level. Okay, a Windows user should be there in the Windows level or in the Active Directory level. Okay, so forget about this Active Directory. I will explain separately. We have a separate class on Active Directory. Active Directory is a server where we will create all users in that machine. We usually don't create individual users in this machine, each machine. Why? Because imagine I have 100 servers. Imagine I have 100 servers. Okay, so one of our student got the job in one company. Imagine he got job in IBM. Okay, Srinath got the job in IBM. So Srinath having access to 100 servers. Srinath is a new employee, right? Srinath want to access 100 servers in that IBM company. What is the basic rule? As Srinath is a DBA, Srinath is going to log into Windows machine, each Windows machine. If Srinath has to log into each Windows machine, what should be there for Srinath? In that machine, each machine, what should be there?
Account name.
Srinath account should be created in each machine. So 100 machines means 100 Srinaths has to be created, right? If Srinath wants to connect to 1000 servers, 1000 Srinaths has to be created. If my DBA team is 10 people and I want to access 1000 servers, 10 into 1000, 10,000 users has to be created for this Windows accounts. Is it possible to create 10,000 users manually?
No, sir.
Difficult thing, right? Difficult thing. So what we are going to do, we'll maintain a separate server for creating users, that is called Active Directory. Okay, so we'll maintain separate users for, okay, win users. Okay, we'll maintain separate server. Just a minute.
సార్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయరా సార్ యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ గురించి ఒకసారి.
I'll explain, nothing to worry. There is a separate class on Active Directory. Okay, now I'll discuss very little about the Active Directory. Let me go with another diagram. Okay, let me go with this one. Right. So usually in the organization, we don't entertain creating users in the individual machines. Okay. In the organization, we don't entertain creating individual users in the machine. So what we are going to do is, there is a separate setup called Active Directory setup. Okay. There is a separate setup called Active Directory setup in the organization. This will helpful only for managing the users. Okay. So what we are going to do is, we are not going to create, no need to create users. Okay, just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Let me go with the diagram first so that you will get clarity. Right. Okay. So what we are going to do is, will maintain a separate machine only for creating users and all. What is that machine? Active Directory. Okay, so forget about this Active Directory as of now. As of now, what you have to understand about this Active Directory is a common place where we are going to create all the user accounts from CEO to security guard. All are members of this Active Directory. Okay, your account should be created in the Active Directory. Once your account is created in the Active Directory, whatever machines are there, how many machines are there, based on in the Active Directory, we will have groups. Okay, this is one group. Imagine this is one group. Okay, so this is a SQL group. Once Srinath joined TCS company, okay, once Srinath joined TCS company, what they will do, the Windows team will add Srinath to this Windows group, sorry, SQL group. Okay, so this group will have group policy. Okay, so whoever there in that group, they can access all SQL machines, right? That is what an Active Directory will do. So again, forget about the Active Directory. So usually in the organization, you are the members of Active Directory domain services. Okay, that is a separate machine that will be controlled by the Windows team. So whenever you go to the organization, your account is going to be created in the Active Directory. In the Active Directory, we will have separate groups. SQL DB is a part of. Remember, again, Active Directory is not separate for different teams. For all the teams, one Active Directory will be there. Okay, Oracle teams will be there. MyDB, NoSQL, MySQL. Okay, different teams will be there. Different groups will be there in the Active Directory. As you are from SQL DBA, Windows team will add you in the SQL DBA group. Okay, so once they added in the SQL DBA group, now again, no need to create any user accounts individually in each machine. Okay, one account is enough. That account should be created in the Active Directory. Now, if Srinath got a job, if Srinath wants to access 100 servers, if there is no Active Directory setup, Srinath has to be created for 100 times in the 100 machines. But if once Srinath got the job, once Windows team added Srinath into the SQL group in the Active Directory, no need to create each individual user in each machine. One account is enough. From this account itself, we can easily create a Windows login in the SQL server. Okay, we can easily create a Windows login in the SQL server. If you don't understand Active Directory, nothing to worry. There is a separate class in Active Directory. Right, fine. So the main prerequisite is for Windows login. Imagine this blue one is Windows login. This white one is SQL login. Okay, there are two types of logins in the SQL server, right? This blue one is Windows login. This white one is SQL login. Right. So if you want to create a Windows login, there is a prerequisite that a Windows user should be there. Okay, a Windows user should be there either in the Windows machine or in the Active Directory setup. Clear, guys? Is it clear till now? Let me know if you have any questions. For creating Windows login, we should have Windows user, either it in the Windows machine or Active Directory machine. Forget about Active Directory as of now. So we should have Windows user, right? Clear, right? This point is clear, right, everyone? Clear or not? Tell me. Fine, right? Fine. So if I have Windows, yeah, if I have Windows user, then only I can create Windows login. Imagine this is my administrator. Okay, every time I'm logging with the help of administrator, right? So here you can see administrator. Okay, so if you remember it or not, while installing SQL Server, what I did is I just simply click on add current user option in the authentication screen. So it created a login for Windows account in the SQL Server. That's why when I choose Windows authentication, automatically it is pulling computer name / administrator account. Why I am getting administrator account there? As I have logged into administrator account in the Windows machine and I have opened an application of SSMS. So automatically, if you open any application, automatically it will take your name as a user, right? So for SSMS also in the same way, it took your name as an administrator. As you logged into administrator, so it just took your name. Okay, if Srinath wants to, if we want to see Srinath in the username, what we have to do? in the SSMS username screen, we want to see Srinath. What we have to do if we want to see Srinath there? Here I want to see Srinath. Okay, in the username section, I want to see Srinath. How can I see Srinath?
By creating the SQL login.
We create Srinath
Create the SQL login account.
Windows level, sir. Windows login.
Okay. If we create Srinath in the Windows level, can we see Srinath here?
So we have to create the SQL login account.
Forget about SQL login first of all. Okay, forget about SQL. I want to see just Srinath here on behalf of administrator. I want to see Srinath. Login is sorry.
Named instance is Srinath.
Named or
Same
default.
one, I
not
tried,
asked.
sir. I couldn't.
What is that?
Login created this.
No. I am not asking Srinath
Actually,
has to log into SQL Server. I'm not
Right.
asking like that. I just want to see Srinath, computer name / Srinath on behalf of administrator. How can I get it? When can I get it? How I got administrator here?
Yeah, here more
Here,
options.
Windows authentication mode it is.
Add current user.
Okay,
We
add
have
current
more
user,
options.
fine. Right. That is okay. More options and all more choices. That is different thing. Okay. So how can I get administrator is here? As I logged into this machine as administrator open this machine SSMS. That's why I can see administrator. Now tell me, I want to see Srinath here. What I have to do?
Separate account. Create another
Login
user.
with Srinath.
That's it. Very good. Very good. That answer I need. When I can see administrator on behalf of administrator, when I can see Srinath here, if I log in with a Srinath account, if Srinath open SSMS, then he can see Srinath here. Why he can see administrator? Why we can see administrator here? I logged in into the Windows machine as administrator. That's why I can see when administrator open SSMS connection, then I can see administrator here. If Srinath logged into this machine and if he opens SSMS, then we can see Srinath here. If Srinath wants to log into this machine, what should be there in this machine? If Srinath wants to
Login.
log user,
Login
okay, that is user. Forget about login. Logins belongs to usually SQL and all. As of now, I'm not asking SQL side, only Windows side I'm asking. If Srinath wants to log into this Windows machine, what should be there for Srinath?
Username is
User will be there.
Username.
User should be there. lusr.mgr.msc. Okay, a user should be there for Srinath in this machine. Then only if Srinath logged into this, see here in the users, administrator is already there. Okay, so that's why administrator is logged into this machine. Here, okay, this is my local. Okay, not this one. I'll tell this shortcut lusr.mgr.msc. Okay, so I can see whoever users are there in my Windows machine. Okay, what are all the users are there in this machine? I can see. Under user section, I don't see two accounts. One is administrator, second one is service account. We have already created service account while installing. Okay, right? So here I have to, the meeting is going to end now. Okay, let me reopen the meeting. Please join with the same link. Okay.